Hello, this is Dr. Martina, your online sex therapist and sex educator. Let me ask you this. What do you do if the quality of sex that you're having with your partner, with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, is not where you want it to be? Do you say something? Do you blame your partner for it? Do you avoid the conversation because you don't want to have any hurt feelings, or you don't want to have your feelings hurt? What is it? Do you do anything? Do you hope that it's going to get better? We have tried all of this. I know, me too. I've been guilty for that too. But there's actually another thing that we could do. We could have a productive conversation with our partners and discuss what it is that may need to change in order to have more pleasure. And I'm saying may because you may not know it is, but you can figure it out with the following tips and with the guide that I'm going to give you through that difficult conversation. Before we start, I want to make sure that we are clear about something, that no one is at fault here. We each experience our sexuality differently. We experience the touch, the stimulation different on a Monday than we do on a Sunday because of what else is going on in our life. So trying to figure this out for someone else is almost impossible, but being able to communicate this to somebody can be done. So no blaming, no egos involved, and we can start right away. First, I want to give you 2 tools that you can apply and that you can use without having your partner's participation, and that is movement and breath. When you're the recipient of touch, you have to be able to provide optimal blood flow, because optimal blood flow into the genital area will increase the sensitivity and increase your awareness of what the touch is doing for you. So these 2 tools, the first one is a movement that you can use your hips to do. The pelvic floor muscle is the largest muscle that we have around the genital area, and if we move the hips slowly, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, maybe a tip forward or a tip back, just slight movements. It doesn't take much. You will loosen up that muscle and you will increase blood flow and you will increase your sensitivity. The breath will help you with the movement inside. The breath is something that will help you with stress, with the grocery list that you have in your head, instead of actually focusing on the attention that you're getting, that your body is getting. But we're living in a stressful society, so taking a couple deep breaths, and when you breathe out, letting it go, then that will relax you and it will keep you present. And you communicate to your partner that those are the 2 things that you do for the 2 reasons that I just told you about. And now the 3 things that we need to give directions to, and the first one is location. We're dealing with 2 different genitals, a penis and a vagina and a vulva. So our most sensitive part is our clitoris, and that is small. It's the size of a pea. And it's loaded with nerve endings. So if somebody goes directly on it, then the location of the touch is off because it's just too sensitive. It needs to be warming up. So then the direction would be, okay, just stay on the outside of the clit, just circle around it and see if we can warm our bodies up. The penis is a little easier to figure out. The men have an easier way to communicate what it is they like, and their margin of error is not as big as it is with us, with the clitoris. Hence, the head of the penis is bigger. So location is something that even if you don't know, you can say, well, I think it's too sensitive right now, but let's just stay on the outside and let's discuss about the other 2 things that will decide if the stimulation is good or not, and that is pressure and movement. So the pressure goes from really light to really deep and somewhere in between spectrum. The movement is from really slow to really fast and somewhere in between. So play with that. It's like having the finger on a knob and tell the partner, okay, now turn up the pressure a little bit. In other words, go a little deeper with the pressure. And then the partner says, okay, how about this? Oh, that's perfect, that's great. No, a little more, great. and now change the location, maybe come closer to it, and now change the rhythm from going really slow, maybe I want you to go faster, or somewhere in between. Figure it out. Figure out what you need on those spectrums in order to increase your arousal, and what you need in order to go over the hump of the point of no return in order to have an orgasm. So those are clear directions and instructions without, and if no ego is involved, you can just take these directions and says, okay, all right, how is that? Oh, your body's responding to this, and figure it out. I mean, this can be fun. It doesn't have to be anything but fun and informative and successful. So when should one have this conversation? Well, obviously not over breakfast, because you have to have the body available so you can play with it. I mean, show a non-judgmental curiosity about how your lover's body works. Not how you work that body, but how the body works and what you can do in order to meet the body's requirements at that moment. This is how you have that conversation. And to recap it, 2 things: you bring in yourself, breath and movement. You can do that all the time as the recipient. And also your partner can follow you with that, and just make sure the movements are small to the hips. You're not flying all over the bed. And then the other things is location, pressure, and rhythm. And this is how you talk about it. And if you have all those ingredients, you will have a different outcome, I promise. And if you, with anything else, you have a difficult time, please connect with me and I will help you through it. Have fun. Have fun finding out what good sex is like between you and your